So I got to ask I think the right question. I hope it's the right question. Where do we start? If someone wants to get better, where do they start?
Well, let's start. We'll actually show them how to do it. So when this interview's over, pick a book you read, preferably nonfiction. Read for a minute. Use a timer. How do you have smartphones or a watch? Time yourself for a minute. Do nothing that's different than your normal way you read. And see how far you get. When the bell rings, take a pen or a pencil and mark off in the margin. You're finished. And now you got a measurement of what you can do in a minute. Now go to the second chapter and go to the first page, first chapter, first line. And go one line at a time with your hand moving from left to right margin, with your eyes following your hand. And the key is as fast as you can comprehend. So as long as you know what you are reading, go quicker and quicker and quicker till you don't. And you should know what you're reading. You already read the book. So the only reason you don't know is because you went too fast. That's when you know you went too fast. You slow down just enough so your comprehension comes back. And for 5 minutes, go at the peak comprehension rate. Not faster, not slower. Go back to the first chapter. You tested yourself the first time. And this time yourself for a minute using your hand. And that little line that you put in the first minute, you'll pass it by 20 to 40% doing that one change. But I'll be honest with you, speed isn't what people want. No one wants to read. No, they don't want to read fast. They want to learn faster. I'll tell you a good story about that. I was with Dick Cavett when MSNBC first launched. And we were chatting after the interview. He had interviewed Woody Allen, who took Evelyn Woods and read War and Peace in 5 minutes. It's an enormous book. He says, that's amazing, Woody. What do you remember? He said, it's about the Russian Revolution. That's all I remember. And that was speed reading. You didn't know what you read. It was a bio book. It was a book about math. You didn't learn bio, you didn't learn math. It was too fast. You couldn't learn the words, you couldn't learn the ideas, you couldn't learn the numbers. And when you slowed down to learn them, you lost your speed. So it was a double bad thing. You couldn't learn, and if you tried to learn, you couldn't do it again. I fixed it. The guy who owned Evelyn Woods had me teach his son my system. It was Maurice Thompson Jr. He said, I went past speed reading to speed learning, and I'll show you what I did. The key to comprehension is called schema. And I'll read something to you with no schema and watch how confusing it will be. Then I'll read it a second time with a one-word title that has schema, and instantly you'll understand it. So you can see the value of schema and comprehension. This is the schemaless, confusing text. This is an easy thing to do. If possible, you could do it at home. But you could always go someplace else if it's necessary. Beware of overdoing it. This is an major mistake and may cost you quite a bit of money. You know what I'm talking about. The words weren't hard. There's no schema. I read it a second time with a one-word title and it all makes sense. Laundry. This is an easy thing to do. If possible, you could do it at home. But you could always go someplace else if it's necessary. Beware of overdoing it. This is a major mistake. It may cost you quite a bit of money. So when you know where these clues are, you can go 2, 3, 4 times faster. And really technical material, law, medicine, accounting, business materials, and understand it better because it's like a decoder ring. It's what actually makes meaning and significance occur in the brain when looking at the symbols called letters and words on the page. So by teaching people the psychology of how their brain decodes data into meaningful information that's usable, you're not just going mechanically with hand motions, but you're integrating it with psychological skills that enable you to gain insight and understanding, which is a much more important thing. I'd rather have you double and really know what you read at a high level, go 5 times faster and not know the name of the book the next day, which is what was happening in the older programs. And the other thing I do is I teach them how to remember it, how to analyze it when it doesn't make sense to make meaning and significance. And another important factor is EQ. Staying in the right state to do it so you don't get nervous on a test or talking in public. You learn good interpersonal skills, how to share with others. And those are the things, combining them, it's a Swiss Army knife. Reading finds what you need to know. They teach them how to figure that out.